Derek LeBlanc here at Top MMA News here with Elite One owner Mike Williams. Heavy hitters just finished up tonight. So just give us your thoughts on the show and what you thought.
It was an impressive card. There was a lot of unpredicted fights. You know, like when I set the card up, I wasn't sure if the fans would like the idea that we had 4 amateur and 6 pro on the card, but the card it shined. Like, you know, every fight I found was just phenomenal. Yeah. And
I'll be honest, like I said, I think a couple of the amateur fights were probably some of the best fights of the night.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, I found the amateur fight, the first fight of the night, it surprised everybody, and we had a hard time with this card because there was so much, there's so many cancellations and injuries all the way through this card. So well, you know, we scrambled and we tried to keep it at a 10-fight card, and you know, all in all, it worked out, and we had our 10 fights, and yeah, and every one of them seemed to be, like I say, it seemed to be a really outstanding fight. The first fight of the night was outstanding. Like, it's a good way to start the night off with a couple big guys and let them pound at each other, and yeah, it gets the crowd going. Crowd's happy. I'm happy. Yeah.
So now, I was talking to you last week, but this is the first show now where you've taken over as full owner now. So after the show ended, so what do you think about everything going in? Like, was it a little harder for you, just obviously going in and everything? Like I said, obviously I know Steven's still helping out.
Oh yeah, he still helps out. Yeah, Steven still helps out. But I find it went smooth because we have a lot of good followers and good volunteers that help out with the show. And my wife, she does a phenomenal job. Like, she's the backbone there. She's pretty well Facebook constantly, and she's sending the contracts out. And, you know, Steven was helping out, like when, especially this show here where there was so many cancellations. I had no choice. I had, you know, Steve. I had a few other guys that were just running, trying to fill this card, make sure this card didn't fall apart. And all in all, like I didn't lose my main event. I lost my semi-main event. I was discouraged about that, but then I said, okay, we're gonna have to bump up St. Pierre and Doucette, and everything worked out for the best.
Yep. Now this is also a big event for you guys tonight because you guys did a webcast for the first time.
We tried.
On Go Fight Live. So how did everything go?
It didn't work. Yeah. What happened with the webcast is the internet was we had problems with the internet at the casino, and even the media was having a hard time going online.
Yeah.
And it screwed up the whole webcast and the box. So we just scrapped it. We said, okay, we're not even going to bother with it tonight, and we'll definitely work on it for the next one. Yeah.
So now what's the future for plans for Elite One? So what do you plan to do to help get it more to a national scene, besides obviously trying to get the webcast and everything? Just get some more.
Yeah, we're gonna just take baby steps. You know, we're gonna take baby steps. I think my thing is I want to get back into bringing some of these UFC fighters and bringing some talented fighters from across Canada into Moncton. I think this venue is just phenomenal. I love the venue. I love the crowd, the fans. We're building a strong base, and if I can get some, you know, ex-UFC fighters in the cage, you know, I'm more than willing to bring them up here and throw them in there. The fans love it. They love getting the pictures with them afterwards. And there's some talented fighters up in Ontario and Edmonton, all across Canada. And you know, I think some of them should be starting to bring them down here and really challenge everybody.
Yeah. And now you already got the next show lined up for May 5th. We already have 2 fights now. We have the lightweight title between
Justin Bourgeois and Woodlock. Yeah.
Or no. The lightweight title for the tournament.
Oh, the lightweight. Okay, yeah.
Oh, so wait, you're giving up another match? So that's
going to be another match there. We're setting up there. We're setting up Justin and Woodlock, and providing we can confirm everything with Woodlock. But we've talked to him before about it, and we were going to actually have that set up for this card here, but it didn't fall through. So we're looking at the May card.
All right, so we're looking at 2 title fights.
There's probably going to be 3 actually, but we'll say 2 for now.
obviously, I'm sure you want to be quiet. Until
I gotta be careful. Yeah. Oh yeah. Like I say, we're looking at another UFC fighter. I'm negotiating with him now, and I'm pretty sure he's going to, you know, bite on it. So yeah, and I think it's he's one of my favorites. So I think once I announce this, it's, you know, some people will say, well, who is this? But you know, people that really know MMA and follow the UFC from start to now, it's going to say, okay, hey, I'd love to see him. Yeah, one of his best fights there is, you know, definitely caught my interest, and I said, geez, and I love his attitude, and yeah, I think he'd be a good guy to bring down to Moncton.
All right, so unfortunately, you had to keep everything in.
Yeah, we got to put it in paper. Yeah.
So obviously now, so what else are you expecting to bring in? Do a little extra for this next event?
The next event, we're going to do that webcast over again, and we're going to hopefully we can fine tune that. I see where the problems are, and I'm definitely looking for different staff to help with the website and stuff like that. I want to get that website up and running where I want it, you know. And I actually all I did with this website here for this event here, I just set it aside because I wanted to make sure that this event went flawless. And but I got a webmaster that's ready to jump on board, and he's going to take over the website. And I definitely plan on going TV there eventually, and I think that's definitely something that's in the works. You know, there's I got a new sales rep that's on board there right now, and he's pushing that hard. So yeah, I'm doing a highlight, a best of 2011 video, and we're sending that to all the networks, and we're going to see if anybody bites on it.
Yeah. Now at the last event, I was talking with Steve. Now there's a couple guys that have been around. Obviously, you still have Jeremy Horn, Butterbean. Is there any possible way those guys are coming back? Even Robin Black was also named. Those come back and defend
Robin
his title.
Black, he wants to come down and defend his title, and there's a few of them that, like I say, we're definitely gonna bring them back. If they want to come back, you know, if the fight's profitable, we'll definitely bring them back. You know, I can't bring a UFC fighter down to take on another UFC fighter. It's gonna have to be, they have to take on a local, but. And even there, like I'm sure some of our locals are going to give these guys a good run, and eventually those belts are going to come back to the locals, and the locals are going to say, okay, well, I'm the Elite One world champion now. So, yeah.
But no, also with right now, how happy have you been able to see how the maritime scene has been forged? And obviously, like you guys have been doing your thing now. ECC's got a new deal with the casino. Yep. Obviously, getting everything back up and running again. So, what do you think this means as a maritime MMA for a whole and its progress?
In whole, I think maritime MMA. I think it's just phenomenal. Like it's growing, and it's just I don't think no end to it. I think it's going to just constantly flourish. It's constantly going to flourish. I think that a lot of the fans are out there. The fighters are definitely. There's more of them coming out of the woodwork. With Stephen running the amateur, it's bringing a lot more amateur base, and these amateur base fighters there are just phenomenal. Like the first few fights tonight, those guys there. There's no reason why some of those guys can't go pro right now. Like, they're just, the talent's there. The talent's there. And I can see it growing. I can see it growing.
Yep. Yeah. And now, before we finish up, any final thoughts or anything that you want to add?
No, I'm pretty content. I'm content with the show tonight. We think we got about close to 16, 80 something. For attendance tonight, which is phenomenal.
Which is pretty much a sellout crowd here.
Pretty close to a sellout crowd, and I'm content with that. And for my first show without, as sole owner, I think that says that I can definitely keep this thing going. Yeah. I get the following the fans, following the fighters. I met with a lot of fighters tonight.
It's so early too.
Yeah, definitely looks positive for the future. Yeah.
All right, there, Mike Williams, owner of Elite One. There. This is Derek LeBlanc here at Top MMA News.